Hi, this is Jeff from SimpleForexSystem.net, and this is a follow-up to the video that I posted yesterday talking about ways to trade news events a few minutes after the news comes out. So rather than watching for the number and then trying to analyze whether the number means the pair should go up or down, and maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, skip all that stuff. What we're doing is waiting 10 minutes after the news, and then there's a couple of different chart formations you look for, and if you happen to get one of those chart formations, then you take the trade. So I mentioned yesterday that oil, which normally comes out on Wednesday, was coming out today, Thursday, because we had a Monday holiday. That's usually how they handle things with oil. So the number came out at 11 o'clock this morning. Much like yesterday's video, the little red line indicates this is the 10:55 candle when it closed. So as soon as this candle closes, the new candle opens, oil number comes out. And so we wait for two 5-minute candles to finish up. And here we had the second candle closed in the same direction as the first candle. So as we know from yesterday's video, we sell, and the entry price was at 20. We had a little bit of a drawdown back to about 35.36. It took about 10 minutes for things to really get going, and now it's off to the races. Now, currently, the trade is still going on. I mean, you could still be sitting in this and waiting. As it was, I took a trade just to get 20 pips out of it. My entry was 20. My exit was at 0. So somewhere right around here, we hit 0, and I got out. Now I'm kind of regretting that decision because, there's been another 50 pips added to this since my exit. This is a very consistent setup, and this works very, very consistently, especially with oil. I had a couple of questions that came in about this. I want to answer those real quickly. First question is, what about the spread on oil? Now, the spread on oil, if you're trading with a Forex broker, is pretty ridiculous. 5, 6, 7 pips, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. When news comes out, it goes to like 15 or 16 pips, okay? But we're not trading when the news comes out. We're waiting for 10 minutes. So by the time 10 minutes has elapsed, spread has normally gone back to something reasonable enough for oil, okay? But since, you may be trading with a 3 or 4 or 5 pip spread, but you have to remember we're looking at moves of 30 and 40 and 50 cents and sometimes more. So it's the price you pay if you want to trade the pair with the Forex brokers. And if that's too much to handle, then don't trade it. I mean, that's the simple answer. But if you can overcome the idea that you might have to have a 5 or 6 or 7 cent spread, when you take the trade, you put yourself in a position to make a whole lot more than that, once the trade starts moving in your direction. The other question that was asked was, okay, this is great for oil. What about some of the other pairs? Is there anything, similar to this that we can trade? And the fact of the matter is, it's going to be difficult to find that. I mean, last fall, I did a long study on the red folder news reports as you find them in Forex Factory, and then studied all of the pairs that were related to the report. So if it was like a US dollar report, I looked at all the dollar pairs. If it was a Japanese report, I looked at all the Japanese pairs. And looking for some patterns or something that we could, kind of hang our hat on, that would recur often enough that it would be profitable. And, I mean, this is the only one that really stood out, okay? But I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at something from a different standpoint, and that is, a lot of these brokers will give you a chance to trade the DAX, or you can trade the S&P 500. I think they call it the US 500. Most of the brokers do. They have a Dow. They've got gold and silver. And most of these are traded at markets that open at 9:30 Eastern time. And so I'm going to go back and take a look and do a little study and see if there's any correlation between, say, the open and the first two candles, and see if there's anything we can figure out. My gut says no, because so much of this stuff is, especially your commodities, your indices, that there are so many fundamentals out there that affect those in terms of, tweets by the president, or non-scheduled news events that occur. If you're trading coffee and there's breaking news that the coffee bean harvest has been wiped out in Nicaragua or something due to torrential rains, well, then you're going to get some crazy price action, and doesn't matter what candle you're looking at that point. But I'm going to go back and take a look and see if there's any others that we can look at besides this. But let me just tell you that, way back in the day when I first got into this gig 14, 15 years ago, however long ago it's been now, we would hear stories of people that only traded one trade a month. They traded the non-farm payroll. They came in 15 minutes before the news report came out. They got the number. They placed a couple of trades. They made their money. They left, and they came back the month afterwards. Okay, and at the time, the NFP was moving 100, 200 pips based upon the numbers that were coming out. So I mean, you really could do that. If this is all you ever traded, you're looking at a trade that consistently, after this number comes out, moves 30, 40, 50 pips. I mean, you could make some serious money doing nothing but trading WTI crude, West Texas Intermediate crude, and just using this simple method. I mean, you don't really need anything more than that. So I'm going to look and see if there's anything else out there, but my gut says no. This is probably it for now. But yeah, I've been wrong before, and I'm willing to be surprised. I hope I'm going to be surprised and find maybe 2 or 3 others that we can look at as well, and just start sniping these trades as opposed to sitting here day after day waiting for something to happen and being disappointed consistently. So anyway, I just wanted to make this follow-up to show you that, you know, this is not something you should just blow off. You should pay close attention to this because you have a real good chance to actually start trading and making some decent money, especially over the summer when I'm not expecting a whole lot else to be all that active. But oil should be its normal self through the summer. So anyway, hope you found this helpful, and I'll be back again with another video as soon as I've got something to show you. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.